and welcome to Paths to Freedom on this blessed Poi Day. On Paths to Freedom, what we focus on is Buddhism in a very modern context. Looking at the current society, we understand that we are busy individuals. Sometimes we don't have time to practice Buddhism just by isolating ourselves in one singular place, because we have to compete and compare ourselves at the same time, which is not taught in Buddhism, but something that we end up doing all the time. And today's discussion being about Buddhism in day-to-day life, we have invited Venerable Bhikkhu Prajnapal of Bangladesh, who is also a visiting lecturer of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies of the University of Kelaniya. Bhikkhu, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa.
Swaminatha, now when it comes to an introduction to our program, we look at Buddhism in a very complex ways, because sometimes we tend to not understand fully what these entities are. Because the definitions are everywhere, but we don't understand the exact same definition that is given in Buddhism. So as an introduction, when it comes to Buddha and Buddhism and also being a Buddhist, in Buddhist culture as well as Buddhist history, what is the exact definition that we should understand in a modern or more like a current context?
Well, once again, thank you very much for inviting us. This is a very, very good question indeed, because first of all, we have to understand the keywords. It is called the Buddha, Buddhism, Buddhist culture and Buddhist traditions. Because of, sometimes we see even the scholar do not have a clear understanding about these terms. Somewhere it seems they have misleaded, especially scholars coming from the non-Buddhist countries. So they might have listened or read something about the Buddhism, even the books they have written or read, or the master they have listened to also should be questionable. It be questionable whether how far they have understood what the Buddha meant by the term Buddha or Buddhism or Buddha's teachings, this and that. So now here the first term is Buddha. Of course we know Buddha is the spiritual teachers who lived in India more than 2,500 years ago. There's no question, everybody we know that, and he is the historical person, it's already proved. And Buddha, then Buddhism. So now you see the Buddhism. Buddhism is a term or English word translated for the terms in Pali, Buddha Dhamma. That means the teachings of the Buddha or the principles of the Buddha. Now you know the ism, there's something added, ism. Now in the Western context, there is a idea, ism theory.
Yes.
Ism theory. Ism is something connected or binding or related to the God. But Buddhism is not the Buddhism. Buddhism is not the teachings that binding with the gods or something like invisible spirituality. Buddhism is a man-centered. That's why Buddha's teaching. So that's why personally I prefer, as I would like to address the Buddha's teachings at the Buddha Dhamma rather than Buddhism. Of course, in order to make things clear for the Western people as well, the English speaker people, we have to use the Buddhism. But if we use this term Buddhism having a good understanding, the term Buddha Dhamma is a great meaning, good meaning, and the proper meaning and proper things and a proper way to understand what the Buddhism. Okay.
Right.
Then next term is Buddhist culture. Now, okay, the term is Buddhist. Who is the Buddhist? Now you say the people who follow the teachings of the Buddha. They are called themselves or they are called by others as a Buddhist. Now, for example, we know the Buddhist country. When we say the Buddhist country, like Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, China, this and that, these are the Buddhist countries we say. Because we say majority of people in these countries are the people who following the teachings of the Buddha. That's why they are called the Buddhist and Buddhist
countries.
So now you are clear about the Buddhist. And what is the Buddhist culture? The people who call themselves as a Buddhist and the things they follow, some traditions or some cultural aspect they follow, we say that is their Buddhist culture and Buddhist traditions. Of course, different schools, different way of understanding Buddhism. But remember, whatever it is the culture, whatever it is the difference, tradition, finally, the main aim of Buddha's teaching is to understand Nibbana or understand the ultimate reality. That is to grasp or to understand or to perceive the things as they are instead of as they appear. Okay. Now here I would like to say a little bit about why we need to understand these things clearly, term clearly. It is because even there is a big misunderstanding about like Buddhist culture. The people who follow the Buddha's teachings, those people are called the Buddhist, and their culture called the Buddhist culture. And such culture, sometimes we see something here and there. Here and there means what? For example, that they also steal the putujan, right? So they also do so many wrongs. Now the person who are coming from the non-Buddhist country, non-Buddhist religions, they are saying then, okay, Buddha is, okay, you see these are the Buddhist people, and being Buddhist, this and that, and finally without any hesitation, they are directly go to the the criticize our master. Our master means what? Buddha, Lord Buddha. Buddha taught this and that, that's what this and do. Remember, now here the good point is, culture can we have many wrong ideas.
That's right.
But not the Buddha Dhamma. Buddha Dhamma is one thing, Buddhist culture is another thing. Because so many cultural aspects are actually here, or we follow, that is we given, we make, we created. For example, the people in the Buddhist country doing war or fishing, this and that. So you can't say Buddha allow war.
Exactly.
It's not like that. Buddha totally prohibited, or Buddha totally said that war is wrong. So then you should not ask the question whether army or this and this jobs are good or wrong, good or bad. That question is automatically solved there.
Exactly. When you mentioned about this different definitions, I think
Yes.
Not just that, there are so many other definitions also being produced these days, just
Yes.
for the, I don't know, for marketing, for what purpose?
Actually, those for the marketing.
For marketing.
Just identify, okay, this is the my tradition, this is the my cultures. This is the my culture, this is the my traditions, I am the better than you.
Exactly.
That is, okay, you may have such kind of perception, you have such kind of identity, you want to such kind of, the names, because you are still in egoism. That means you want to say I and mine, my country, I am. But that is, you want to be different from others. And you want to difference from others not in the good way when it is the bad ways.
Bad ways.
Human is humans. Okay, the Buddha's teachings actually applied for all the peoples who want to, or who wish to eradicate these kind of views. That is called the I-ness and my or mine. So at the end of, if you understand the Buddha's teaching clearly, it is very difficult. Of course, there will no more the concept like I, my country, I am, this and that.
Exactly. It's all just concepts
and levels that we want to like superior from others, the difference from others, want to highlight from others people.
I think this is exactly what leads us to have stress in our lives, because we also always think about protecting ourselves, protecting what is mine, and also developing myself, things like that. So because of that, we face number of emotions and maybe thought processes, because we always keep on thinking on one thing with a goal. It's good to have a goal, but then when you overthink it and have a stress out of it, it's bad. But so when it comes to Buddhist teachings, Venerable Thero, how does it, how can it be applied to our daily life when it comes to addressing these issues like stress and mental suffering and maybe sometimes physical suffering at the same time? How can we address that?
Well, I think in your question there was a few very keywords. That is, you said that okay, so we have to have target.
Targets.
Buddha had target in order to attain Buddhahood.
Yes.
That is not desire. It's target. We should have an aim to get some things, but should not be desire. In the same time, you said we have to target, aims, and because of we do not understand or we mix up the aims, desire, this and that, then the problem is coming, stress is coming.
Yes.
Stress means what? Overthinking. Overthinking, and you do not, shaking mind, this and that. You cannot decide what I should do, or sometimes what you have, and you're trying to think, okay, how to protect this and that. Finally, actually, whatever we say, Buddha in the Roga Sutta said two things. That is said, all the Putujjana. Putujjana means the people who did not understood the Buddha's teaching or the reality. They are Putujjana, and they have always two kind of sickness. One is Kayika Roga, Roga means sickness, and Chetasika Roga. Kayika Roga means the sickness that we face in our body, this physical body. Okay, and Chetasika Roga means mental disorders, mental sickness. So Buddha said in that sutta, there are people you can find who do the daily works properly. They are very good, or they are very healthy in the physical. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, like that. Like that, there are some people who say, this is my 100, I'm the 100 years old, but I'm still physically strong, healthy. You can find such kind of people, but Buddha said, until you realize the Nibbana, that means the realize the path, that means the got Magga Phala, you are not free from this mental sickness. Always worry. Now, what is the mental disorders? Stress. Actually, this stress, that's use the terms you said, the stress. These are actually given names. For example, if we look at the modern society or the Western psychology in DSM, there have a numbers of mental disorders. All these disorders we can see in Buddhisms, but not like with a single name. Okay, these are the anxiety, these are the stress, these are depression, this and that, not like that. Actually, all these disorders are included in Chetasika Roga.
Right.
I remember there is one most venerable from the Thailand, namely Bhikkhu Buddhadasa. He pointed out 3 sickness. One is the physical sickness, that means as we said the Kayika Roga and Chetasika Roga, and he said the another one is the spiritual sickness. Spiritual sickness what? Actually, that is what the Tanha, Raga, Dosa, Moha, Tanha, these are the things.
Because it's your spirit that gets affected by
affected.
Right.
That is what lead you to suffer in the cosmic suffering.
Right.
That is what give you the birth to births and suffer, the birth to births, and come to this cosmic suffering.
Because people like being human. Sometimes we like being human. So that's sort of a alluring situation, because you like what you are, and then you end up being the same in the future as well in the entire samsara.
That is good questions. Once I attended one conference, so there were so many presented. So somehow at the middle there was a kind of arguments. Why? The question was actually, the conference theme was the Jainism and Buddhism, and the question raised due to the the male and females. So the priority. Then if when I was looking that discussion, there's conflicts and that argument, I just saw these people did not understand or didn't read the sutta called the Sangyoga Visangyoga Arya Pariyesana Sutta. If you read this sutta, in this sutta actually is talking about why a male become male, why female become females.
Right.
So in that way actually we can say, yes, Kama Tanha, Bhava Tanha, Bhiva Tanha. That means I want to have it now, I want to continue it, and continue it. That is what you lead the Tanha to birth, and that is what we continue samsara dukkha.
Right. So I think this adds value because sometimes we always think we do good deeds wanting to be something better in our next life. So even if you believe in reincarnation, when we in Buddhism that is taught, but then again we always do certain things to make sure that you get something better in the next try. So that is what the Thero is actually speaking about when it comes to having these alluring situations where you like your situation right now and to develop it later on. It doesn't have to be in the same lifetime, but it can also have a continuous trend in your entire samsara. So moving on to the third question, answer now. When it comes to being busy, because today's theme, even though we got carried out, is about being a good Buddhist in our daily life and also in a busiest life. So sometimes people might not have time to go through all these sutras and all these precepts sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, what is your advice and how do you think we should, at least simply at the most basic level, we could be the Buddhist that is taught?
Well, that is a very good question, very important questions, but very difficult to answer because you are asking how to say at the basic level. I mean, the Buddha's teaching is such a teaching that when you try to make it basic, it's difficult. Because strength is reduced. So with the less strength, it's very difficult to apply.
Yes.
No, I mean, you can't say, okay, when I can practice Buddhist teaching, when I want to sleep. You can't. You want to practice Buddha's teaching, or you want to, I mean, of course, finally here we should understand this. Why Buddha's teachings? Buddha's teaching is in order to free from this cosmic suffering. Cosmic suffering means what? Today we feel something pleasure, right? Oh, this nice, I can enjoy this and that. But do you know how many times you had such, do you know how many times you will have? You still don't know.
No idea.
So Buddha said, I mean, in order to understand these things clearly, I would suggest you to study at least little bit about Anamatagga Sanyukta. That is coming from the Sanyukta Nikaya. In those references, they are talking about how the cosmic suffering, how far we had spent such a pleasurable things, enjoy those things, but still we need. Now, yes, in the busy world, how we can apply these Buddha's teachings since we do not have times, this and that. Of course, you say we do not have times. I know that time also do not have times. Exactly. Then how can we have times? Okay. Now, anyhow, let's try how to make a connection this here. Now, the main aim of the Buddha's teaching is in order to purify your mind. So, in order to practice Buddha's teaching, you do not have to go really 24 hours to the temples, to the monks and this and that. For example, you have heard the Dhamma talks many times. You take one Dhamma talk and you take one single words from there. If you can keep in mind and live according to that, that is what? That means what? Always trying or always being aware about your three actions. Actions perform from three doors. That is, what you say, that's called the verbal action. Once you say something, you have to have good understanding, clear pictures, what I am saying. Is it good for me? Is it good for others? And second thing is, what you thinking? When you are thinking some things, the thinking process, thoughts are coming, one by one. So when you try to do something bad for others, you will have very, very nice plan. That's the nature. Our mind is used to go in the wrong ways very easily. It is very difficult to turn it in the right way. But if you are not aware about those thoughts, you are in danger. Okay, then what you say, you have to have the good understanding. You have to be aware about what you're saying and what you're thinking. And after that, what are you going to do? That means your physical action. You have to have the very good understanding about your physical actions. So, in short, you have to be aware about these three kinds of doors. Whatever you're saying, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing. If you think this is good for me, good for others, good for society, do it. If you feel it's not good for you, not good for others, not good for the society, and it leads you to suffer in the cosmic suffering, means, if it will increase your cosmic suffering more and more, then leave it. That is what the Buddha said actually to the Kalama.
So for you to have good control of
your thought
these
process,
thought process, okay.
and all the actions that you are performing through 3 doors.
Right. Okay. Right. So since we are also tight with our time, we can also speak about how Buddhism also teaches about not running away from problems, because sometimes we think Buddhism is also about just running away from problems, because they speak specifically about going somewhere and meditate, but that sounds like for some of them that you're running away from the reality just to be isolated, but that's not the issue, is it?
Yes. Okay, here I think I really should point out 3 things. One thing is Buddhism is not something like negative things. Now sometimes people thinking we have to run away this and that because they are talking about the anicca, they are talking about the marana. Now people very afraid about when they heard the term anicca and the marana.
Yes.
Actual anicca teachings taught by Buddha not to give up all the things.
Exactly.
You must have what you should have. You must develop what you have, but in the good ways. In the good ways. Anicca teaching was taught by the Buddha not to cling, not to attach. You can have it, you can enjoy it, still no problems, but do not go to the cling with it. The marana. Now some people thinking or the Buddhism talking about the marana, the death.
Yes.
Is the kind of negative things, pessimistic. No. For example, once you go somewhere, of course, shall we take the example, you go to supermarket. When you go supermarket, you want to buy some things. What do you buy? For example, juice or some things you buy. What do you look first? Price or expired date? Both, of course.
Honestly, the price.
Price. But nowadays maybe price. But okay, we bring it to our house. Then we try to use these things before expired date.
Yes.
We know these specific things going to expire this and that day.
Exactly.
But we don't know this body when going to expire. That's why we should not run away from the problems. Once the nature of the problem is coming. They're testing us whether we can handle it or not. Once the problems come to our life, the problem is actually on the way. We are walking. When we meet the problem, we should try to overcome these problems in the right way. If you try to overcome the problems the wrong way, the problems become double and triples. And once the problem coming, you do not kick it. And in the same way, you do not shake the hands problems to come in our life, not like that. It will come. If it is come, we try to manage it, overcome it in the right ways, but no need to be hurry. No need to be hurry. And that times, so that's why Buddhism says that you do not have to run away from the problems. Okay, problems always coming in our life due to because our perception, what we see, we don't have limitations on that. We do not have limitation on that. So if we do not have good understanding, clear pictures or good perception about what we are seeing, what we are hearing, there is a problems coming.
Right. So the entire understanding of today's discussion has been about how you can tackle using Buddhism, and about how you can be safe even when it comes to problems, because when it comes to problems also, if you obey the Buddha's teachings, you might not be able to avoid it, but you can minimize the damage of your suffering, of your body and your cosmic suffering, and also the mental suffering. All these can be minimized if you obey the proper teachings. So today's discussion has been very insightful, and we are extremely thankful to the Thero, to the Venerable Bhikkhu who visited us today upon our invitation. Venerable Bhikkhu Prajnapal of Bangladesh, who is the visiting lecturer of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies at the University of Kelaniya. So with that, today's episode of Paths to Freedom comes to an end. We'll be coming back in the next Boy Day as well. Until then, we want you to have a blessed